Hi everyone, it's Amy from Cohuna Co here. We're going live like we do every Friday at 1 p.m. For our Lunchtimes with Locals. Now, if you've been watching along for the past few weeks, you'll know we haven't actually been able to go out and really talk to businesses while the whole COVID thing's on. So we've been changing it up and doing a few different things. We've done a couple of tours around Cohuna, showing off the businesses, showing off land where you can build a house or buy a house. And I've also been doing some sort of mini sessions on some common things that people ask us about and people wonder about, things like Instagram and Google My Business. So today I'm going to do a mini session on LinkedIn, which you might have heard of, you might not have. So if you're interested in that, stick with us. And I'll take you through the very basics, so you don't have to be scared that it's going to be, but I'll just try and keep it really basic. And then if you've got any other questions, you can get in touch and I can talk you through it. I'm certainly no expert, but I have a crack at most things and I absolutely love sharing what I've learned, especially if it's a tool or something that I think can actually help people or businesses in our local area or anywhere really. So leave us a comment if you're watching. I think it says there's about 6 people watching, so it's nice to know that you can hear me. That's probably my main thing, sitting here talking and no one can hear. So leave us a little comment and say hi. Let us know where you're working from or listening from. And let us know what you've been up to in the last couple of weeks, the last week or so. Something exciting that you've been working on, a project, a goal or an idea you've had. Because if you've been watching our socials, you'll probably know that as part of Cohuna Co, we've been really busy with our new initiative called the Bush Biz Boost, which had started on the 30th of September. And we're 2 sessions in now, and the 10 businesses that are involved, I'm getting a lot of good feedback from them. They're very grateful for being involved in this program, and yeah, they've had 2 sessions with experts so far, and yeah, the results and the feedback have been wonderful. So check out the website. I do a little post after each session so you can find out what everyone's been learning about, and yeah, it's been really great. Hi Jude, hi Carol. Great, people can hear me. That's always a plus. So something else I want to mention is that the Cohuna Progress Association, which is where the grant came from the Shire and the federal government to put businesses through the Bush Biz Boost program for free. The Cohuna Progress Association is having their AGM on Monday the 19th of October, and they're looking for some new members and some new volunteers and people to just get involved, because without the Progress Association, I don't think a lot of people realise how many events and projects and things that they do around the town. So things like New Year's Eve, the market, the St Kilda Film Festival, and of course the big Cohuna Festival, which benefits all of us. Let's be honest, whether you participate, whether you're a business, we all get benefit. It's just great for our town to show off and for everyone to have something fun to do. So keep that in mind. The AGM's on. I know they're looking for new president and a new secretary and treasurer probably. And yeah, so just keep that in mind. It's something worthwhile to be involved in. Oh, hi, Denise, Mum. Thanks for watching. Okay, so there's a few people here wanting to learn about LinkedIn. What is it? How can we use it? And I'm going to share my screen in a second. But basically, I want to tell you that LinkedIn is known as professional Facebook. So if you're a Facebook user, actually learning to use it and integrating it and knowing what to do, setting it up won't be very hard. So it's sort of professional Facebook without some of the negative parts of Facebook, if you know what I'm getting at, that some people experience. So even if you're not employed or you don't own a business, you can still get on LinkedIn and have a profile and perhaps just not be as active as someone else. So I'll go through all the different purposes, but I do like to share my screen so that you can see what I'm actually talking about. Okay. All right. So this is the login page for LinkedIn, and you'll just go up to the sign in, well, I do because I've already got a profile, or join now. And then it just takes you through the normal process. You'll just need to supply some basic details, your name, your phone number, your email address, and that's about it. So I'll sign in here. and just give you an example of what a LinkedIn profile looks like. Now, I'll just leave it there for a second and have a bit of a chat because like anything, even when you get on Facebook for the first time or even Google, it looks a little bit like, oh, there's so much going on. But eventually, once you sort of get your orientation and learn about which parts your eyes focus on, then it becomes a little bit more logical. Now, something else I need to mention is that LinkedIn's also an app. So you can, a lot of people just use it on their mobile. I'm a bit of a old-fashioned person, so I like to have it on the desktop. And it's not something that I access regularly. I wish I need to because I think it's actually very powerful. But it's not something you have to go on and check every day like you might with your Facebook or your Instagram profiles. So just for some stats, LinkedIn is a social media network, just like Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of those things. It's got about 660 million users worldwide. So that's a lot, not as many as all the rest of them yet, obviously. And about 210 million of them are active. So some people just go on there, create a profile and get sick of it or don't need it anymore and forget to delete it or whatever. And 40% of people use it daily. So that's definitely not as much as Facebook and Instagram. Most people would probably use that at least daily. And the thing with LinkedIn is it's really powerful because only 1% of users generate content daily. So, there's a lot of opportunity out there. If this is sort of a platform that could work for you, if you create some content, put up a post, write something, put up some photos, create an event, create a group, anything like that, you're more likely to get seen because there's not a lot of content. It's not like Facebook where people are just popping up what they've had for breakfast or, just any old random photo. So if you think of the screen space as real estate, there's plenty of opportunity there for real estate. Got my notes here so I don't miss anything. It's owned by Microsoft. I actually learned that. I didn't actually know that. And it's free. And there is a premium version. I don't know what it does extra. If you're into that, then it's possibly something. They do sort of push it a little bit. It always gives you the option, do you want to sign up to premium to find out something? Go there if you want, but I'm just going to stick with the basics today, just so you can get some orientation. Now, I do like to make some definitions. Hang on, let me go back and make sure no one's asked a question. How do you contact the Progress Association? Good question, Jan. So they have a Facebook page. So probably if you just type in Cohuna, I think it's called the Cohuna and District Progress Association on a Facebook page. And I guess because they're always changing presidents and things like that, there might not be a phone number on there, but there's definitely an email address on there. So you can contact them and then find out, and get just on their email list and find out. I think if you become just a community member, it's only $20 a year or something. And, there's just a sign of support and it's a little bit more for businesses. Not very much. I can't remember exactly how much it is, but it's definitely something worthwhile. So that's how you get in touch. And they do email out the details of the meetings and agendas and surveys and things like that. It's not a great drag on volunteer time, and it's quite a good fun thing to be involved in, and you learn a lot of the things that are going on behind the scenes and perhaps sometimes the decisions that are being made. Things like, people sometimes complain about there's not enough Christmas decorations. Well, when you find out that the Shire doesn't actually give much money for that, where does the money for the Christmas decorations come? But then also who organises them, designs them, hangs them up, takes them down. It just gives you a little bit of insight about, why things do and don't happen around town. And, it's a good thing to be involved in. So back to LinkedIn. Thank you. Keep asking questions, everyone. Back to LinkedIn, some of the terms. So I'm probably going to refer to Facebook a little bit here. So there's me, and this is my profile. So it's the same as Facebook. You have a Facebook profile, and you have a LinkedIn profile. Now, instead of friends, you have connections, because in a professional sense, sometimes people may not be your friends necessarily, but they will be a professional connection. Down here, I have a business, so I have created a page for Cohuna Co, and so that's the same as Facebook. Facebook has a page thing as well, and then it has the same things. It has groups and it has events, and thinking what else there is. Oh, things like sharing posts, liking posts, commenting on posts, sending people messages, that's all very similar. So, you know, for someone who might be a little bit scared to jump on and start, you know, looking into a new profile, a new type of social network, then, you know, it's probably going to come fairly naturally to you. Even here you see, if I wanted to start a post, it's very similar to Facebook. I can type something, I can add a photo, a video, or anything like that. So that sort of tells you what LinkedIn is, I guess. Now, why would you use it? Well, not everyone needs to be on LinkedIn, like not everyone needs to be on Instagram, I suppose. But something that's good about it, there's a few different things, is that you can connect with other professional people. So I'm an insurance broker, so my profile is kind of a little bit based around that, but I also use it for my Cohuna Co stuff so that I can link with other co-working spaces that are in other regional areas, and, you know, we've formed connections, I'll say friendships sometimes, based on this. So it's a little bit harder to connect on Facebook sometimes because they might be doing their marketing and targeting their customers on Facebook, whereas if they want to target like-minded people in the same industry, then LinkedIn is a much better way to get in touch with someone, sort of in that way. So just think of it as sort of like taking it to the professional level. So it's really good for businesses whose customers are other businesses, and that's called B2B, business to business. And that's where, you know, LinkedIn would be excellent because, you know, your business will be on LinkedIn and you will be, and so will the other business and all their employees, and you'll be able to connect with them, check out what they're talking about, what they're posting about, industry news, and then the next thing we'll get to is jobs. And I actually didn't realise that LinkedIn has this capability, but it's one of its major things. And it's what it really gets used for quite a lot. Oh, noises. So when my son Liam was unemployed and looking for a job, we were putting, you know, job applications in with him on Seek and all the job application sites. And then a few of them started asking, do you have a LinkedIn profile? Click here to connect it. And we were like, oh, what's that? And that was instead of uploading a resume. So instead of having to type your resume up and in Word and then make it look nice and everything, you could just link your LinkedIn or connect your LinkedIn profile to your job application. And we were like, beauty, that is so good. So Liam created himself a LinkedIn profile, and that's what a lot of job seekers do. It's like an online resume. I did talk to someone the other day and they were sort of like, oh, that's a lot of personal information, you know, where you've worked and what your skills are and all that sort of stuff, and it's out there and it's in the public. You don't have to put, you know, everything on there, and only people who you're connected with can see a lot of that information. There's only certain parts, a bit like on Facebook. If someone's not friends with you, they can only see maybe your photo and you know, your name or where you are, depending on what your settings are. So you can play around with your settings like that, but potential job employers will be able to see your details, your skills, your work experience, a photo of you and what you're about and what you like and what you're interested in. So it's fantastic for that. And on the flip side, it's also good for employers to advertise jobs on. So, you know, if you're an employer and you're a business and you're trying to attract employees, you can actually create a job advertisement, and it will actually get sort of sent out to people who have said, oh yeah, I'm looking for a job in insurance. Well, if you're an insurance broker and you want to attract a new broker or a claims manager or something, you can create a job and then it'll get sent out to all the profiles if they're looking for a job, and you can connect in that way. So I do know that is something that a lot of the businesses here struggle with, is to find staff. Perhaps probably some of the professional businesses, and yeah, it's just another feather in your cap, an opportunity to be able to find employees, to get a bit of background info on them before you have to interview them or while you're doing the selection process. I just think that's really fantastic. So that's another way. The last thing is probably just for connections. You can connect with old colleagues. You know, I've connected with people I went to university with, if you want to, right? And also joining professional groups and things like that. So finding like-minded people in your industry and people that you can, you know, relate to and talk to about business, because you can't sometimes talk about business on Facebook. You know, it might be a bit personal, or you might not find people that are interested in that, talking about that. So to show you around, so I'll just check that there's no other, yeah. Oh, Jan got to meet her grandson. Oh, gosh. My heart breaks for the families that have got new babies at the moment, but that's happy news. Congratulations. That's really good. Okay, so hopefully everyone's following along. Let me know if you've got any questions or how you think you might be able to use LinkedIn. If you think you'll create a profile, if you don't think you'll bother. But like I sort of said in my ad, even if it's not relevant to you, you might have children who are looking for a job. You might have children or friends that own a business and they're saying, oh, you know, going out of my mind, I can't get an account manager for my business. And you could say, look, get on LinkedIn. It's something it's not new, but it doesn't seem like a lot of people, especially in the country, have adopted this as a, you know, and maybe they just don't know much about it or what the potential is. So that's why I love doing these type of sessions. So over here is a summary of my profile. Here's probably the menu up here, I reckon. So this home just shows my news feed, shows some ads. It's free, so you've got to kind of put up with that. Some news, and that's the feed, and then that's the messaging, which you can get rid of down there. And I like to order this by most recent things, so it sort of shows me people that have posted stuff recently. Now I can update my profile by going up to me, clicking view profile, and then that shows sort of everything that I've typed about me. Now I haven't really updated it enough lately. You know, just another thing to do, isn't it? But, you know, you can just do a little summary of yourself here, what you've done, your education, your business, and that can actually even just be where you work as well. You can link to that if that business has a page. And it sort of shows you stuff that other people don't see. So apparently 14 people viewed my profile. It does tell you that sometimes, and it's like, oh, why is that person stalking me? It's quite funny. And you do your experience, it automatically calculates that for you, and you can sort of just, you know, go down there and see what people have done. A lot of people probably didn't know that I'm a teacher and did family daycare. So I'm just scrolling down here. Hopefully it's not making you feel car sick or anything, but you can put your volunteer experience in, which is important. And then skills and endorsements are quite a good thing to put in. Sometimes it feels a bit weird to put how good you are at stuff, but what an endorsement is fantastic. Someone else kind of like says that you have a good skill and you can accept. So Sue Irvine and one other connection have said that I have a skill in general insurance. So thank you very much for that. John Archibald and someone else has said I have skills in underwriting. Thank you very much. So that's really nice when people do that for you. So you can edit that profile at any time. Like I said, I can put another picture up there if I want to. And it tells me that I have 136 connections. I don't know how I got that many, but instead I'm going to go up to my network, and that is where you have a look and it will show you your connections. Internet's a bit slow today. How's everyone going? Have I lost you yet? I don't know why that's so slow. So basically your connections are like your friends on Facebook. So I've got 136 of them. And then you can search for them. So it's in order of recently added. So these are the most recently added people that I've got. And you can sort of really only message people who you're connected with. You can invite people to connect, and it's really good to actually not just use the generic message like, please connect with me. You know, it's good etiquette to write to someone and say, hey, you know, my name's Amy, I'm from Cohuna, I'm interested in connecting because, you know, we both own a co-working space and I'm interested in how you're going over COVID. More likely to have someone accept you as a connection then, because there are, like every other social media platform, there's bots and there's not hackers, but, you know, people that have ulterior motives, and they might try and connect with you and then just sell you something which no one likes. So these are my connections. Now, if I go up here, I will just show you Liam's, because it's a good example. If I just typed in Liam at the top there, and notice it says that he's a first connection. So that means that we've actually connected. I'm connected to him and he's connected to me, and we've accepted each other. Then it'll have second and third. So second connection is someone who might be connected with someone else that you follow or that you're connected with. And the third connection is someone that you don't really have any connection with. That's just how LinkedIn sort of labels people so that you know how you might have connected. So Liam's got his picture there, and on LinkedIn, it's not like Facebook. You really should have a nice photo of yourself, not a photo of your dog or a photo of your wedding or anything like that. You know, like if you've got a professional headshot that you've had done at work, this is a perfect place to put that because people want to know, you know, exactly what you look like. So Liam currently works at Elders Insurance in Geelong, fancy that, and went to Cohuna Secondary College. So I can have a look at him and, you know, all this stuff was loaded up here. I love that he's an entrepreneur because he's desperate to create his own business and be self-employed. So he's had various jobs down here and, yeah, university and school and volunteer experience. I suppose when you're a young person, you don't have so much job experience, then the volunteer experience comes in really important as well. So that was created for getting a job, basically. But Liam can now use that profile to connect with other people in the insurance world, or if he wants to become an entrepreneur, he can start joining groups that, you know, are in the area that he's interested in. So, yeah, he's got 13 connections there. I mean, you can go and see who people are connected to. You know, he's connected to people from home here, Mandy Hutchinson, Belinda Barker, Sue Irvine. So, yeah, going to Mandy's. So you can just have a look at people's things. I'm connected to Mandy, and what I wanted to go into Mandy's for is because I wanted to show you that, you know, she has her workplace there, which is Northern District Community Health. Now, they've got a lot of employees. So I've just I'll click on them, and that'll bring up the Northern District Community Health page. I thought it would. Yeah, here we go. Maybe if I do that. Northern District Community Health. Now, this is interesting, and I like this because it says Northern District Community Health is an unclaimed page. So that means that basically LinkedIn has sort of picked up that a few people work here and that this is actually an organisation because perhaps a lot of their employees, it says 13 employees, have said that they worked here. So LinkedIn, the robots behind the scenes have decided Northern District Community Health is an organisation, and it's created like just a generic page for it, and that no one has claimed yet. So no one's in charge of that. No one's updated the picture. No one's kind of in control of it yet, which I would recommend as a business, obviously, to try and be in control of your business pages so that you can keep updated and sort of, yeah. So you can claim it if you are an employee of this page. So Mandy, get onto that. But I did notice in Cohuna there's a lot of those. So there's another point. If I type in Cohuna in the search bar, see what happens. So in Cohuna, when you search, and then you can come up with, you can narrow it down to people, jobs, events, and then in the drop-down box, companies, schools, and groups, okay? So, you know, depending on where you are, you might be in Dubbo, and you can type in Dubbo, and you'll be able to find jobs in Dubbo. But this has sort of come up with some results of people in Cohuna that I can connect with if I want to. They're all second connections, so obviously they're connected to someone who I'm connected with. Oh, yeah, shared connections here. And so it's come up with Cohuna District Hospital is a company in Cohuna or a business in Cohuna that has actually claimed their LinkedIn profile. So they're in control of this. They're updating their about information. I recently posted job. Whoa. I don't know how to click on that. Let me see. What's about them? Jobs on the side here. See? You just learn your way around. So they've advertised a finance and administration manager parental leave 1 week ago. Okay, so that would have gone out to everyone, you know, that is looking for a job and that's on LinkedIn that, you know, wants to work in this type of industry. So how fantastic is that? And then you can press save, so you can go back to it later, or you can press apply. I have no idea what happens when you do that, but, you know, it just goes to show the power of it. And you can just follow a page. If you look down here, 55 people are following Cohuna District Hospital. So then when the hospital puts updates on their LinkedIn profile or page, then they'll be able to, people will get an update on their feed, which is back in the home menu. So I know they announced some big news last night, which was that Dr. Barker's not going to be delivering babies from late May next year, and he's delivered pretty much every baby in the last probably, I don't know, 30 years in Cohuna. So that's happy news for him, but sad news for all of us. And I reckon that's probably a great place for them to advertise for his replacement. So they need to get onto LinkedIn and get us a obstetrician or a GP with obstetrics training so that we can keep having our babies in our beautiful hospital. So I've just gone back to the homepage there. So there's jobs there if you wanted to use it for jobs. Make suggestions for you. Look, there's some insurance broker jobs around. If I wanted to move jobs, you can search. If you're moving interstate or into a different place, you can search there. Messaging is very much like Facebook. You do get some ads or sponsored ones, which you can just ignore. You know, I've got some messages there from various people, and then notifications, which is the same as Facebook and the other social media things. You know, does encourage you to share a post if you want to every now and again, and just gives you some updates of what's going on. So how do we go with that? How does everyone reckon that they'd be able to use LinkedIn for anything, or if not, be able to tell family members or anyone in their life, you know, that it might be something worth trying? Something else I've got on my notes here, I'll just stop sharing that screen there. Okay. Something else I've got on my notes here is LinkedIn is actually quite powerful for helping you turn up in Google results as well. So when I go and Google myself, my LinkedIn, like Amy Tracy, there's not that many names, but, you know, probably about 3 or 4 listings down, it has my LinkedIn profile. Now, they can only see the bits that I've made public, but it helps you, you know, so if you think in a business context, if people type in Cohuna Co or co-working Cohuna or event space Cohuna, then because I've got all those words written on our LinkedIn page for Cohuna Co, then it comes up, and I will show you that actually. If I can work out how to share that again. So there I've got I'll go back up to the top. I've just searched in the Google search bar there for Cohuna Co, and it's come up with our website. That's a win, because that's what you want to come up very first. It's come out with our Google My Business profile on the side here. That's a good win. Okay, I talked about that a few weeks ago, so important. I hope people have been getting onto that. And then it brings up our Facebook, because we're very active on Facebook. As I go down, it brings up Spacely, which is sort of like realestate.com, but for co-working spaces. So I'm glad I put a free listing on there, because that's getting us noticed. Yellow Pages, and then our LinkedIn profiles there. So, you know, that whole Google search is filled with LinkedIn. If people can't connect with us based on all of those search results, then, you know, something's going on. So that's just another example of how powerful LinkedIn is, especially if you're someone who perhaps uses your first name, your name as your business. You know, you'll want to be there in the results. If you're Ian Howard Real Estate or something like that, then, you know, if you had a LinkedIn profile, you're going to come up very high in those Google rankings. Okay, so I'll stop sharing that. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm actually going to be doing a Zoom session on this for the members of Cohuna Co Collective on Sunday night, where they can interact and ask questions and have a play around with it as well. So if anyone does actually want a link to that Zoom, if they want to, or if they want to let people know that we're doing that, it's free, and you can just join in Sunday night, 8 o'clock, and I'll basically be going over the same thing, but answering people's questions and probably encouraging people to maybe start their own profile and then have a play around with it, and then come back with some questions or things that they've noticed. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I just have a go at these things and learn as I go, and then I'm happy to introduce these ideas to people, because I really think that some of them can benefit people, and, you know, something might suit you and something might not. So I hope you're all well, and keep in touch. Thanks for watching today, and leave us some comments. What do you reckon about LinkedIn? Powerful? Worth it? Hopefully I'll get some new connections out of this, because, yeah, that'd be nice. Doesn't seem to be that many people in Cohuna, and definitely not that many businesses that have embraced the power and benefits of LinkedIn yet. So, yeah, get onto it, peoples. Catch you later. Bye.